So one of the big mistakes they make is buying the wrong boat. They have the wrong alignment with what they need and what they want. So they go buy what they want, but it doesn't fit their needs. So it's really important to understand what your true desires are for that boat, and then buy a boat that matches that. Another big mistake we see is folks buy more on a budget than buy what they need. And so they'll forego having the right power or having the right space or having the right accessories. And then that boat doesn't really match their desires or their dreams, and they end up not liking it and needing to get out of it. And getting out of that boat can be more costly than buying the right boat in the first place. You know, we find folks may go buy a boat based on price or based on what someone tells them rather than, you know, the true boat itself. So it's important to have somebody that's helping you with buying that boat, that's asking you the questions and then delivering on your answers, and not just telling you what they happen to have. Another big mistake folks make when they're buying the boat is they happen to buy a brand that they know. They may know this brand or have seen this brand, and then they think that's the brand they need to buy. And it doesn't matter whether that brand actually suits their needs, they just want to buy the brand. And that's not important. Make sure you buy the right boat. One of the big mistakes folks make is they buy a boat based on what a friend suggested. A friend has a boat and he likes it because of one reason. It's not going to be the same reason you're going to like a boat. Make sure you really delve into what you want to do with that boat and buy it for your needs, not your friend's needs. A very common mistake we see when folks are buying a boat is they don't buy enough horsepower, enough power for the boat. This tends to come from they spoke to some other salesperson or something of that nature, and they were able to get the boat at a budget they wanted because they lowered the horsepower. I've never heard anyone come in and say they bought too much horsepower. It's always they bought too little. So don't make the mistake of buying a lesser horsepower boat because it fit in a budget. You will never complain about having enough horsepower. Another common mistake folks make when they go to buy a boat is they don't understand all the different costs and or services that go along with buying a boat. Very often they'll get into it and think they're going to buy a boat and they're going to maintain it themselves, drag it to and from their house and park it in their driveway. But as life sets in, they don't have the time for that. And or they didn't budget for someone else to do that. Or they didn't realize they didn't have the parking space at their house or a big enough car. Make sure when you get into boating, you're considering everything about owning a boat, which means who's going to take care of it? Where are you going to dock it, or where are you going to park it in the off season? How are you going to move it around, or are you going to have somebody else moving around? And very often, potential boat buyers sort of bite off more than they can chew, and they assume they're going to do all that work, and they don't have that kind of time in life to do that, and then the boat becomes a burden.